Again, my name is Ryan Tilson. I'm the Director of Admissions and External Relations at Vistamar School. We're located in El Segundo, California, basically right off Rosecrans and Aviation, kind of on the corner of Manhattan Beach, El Segundo, and Hawthorne. I know many of you have heard of the school, may have heard this and that. We are in year 6 now, so we are still a young yet established school. I think I've got about 10 minutes today, and I have a video which for some reason is not connecting to the server here, so we'll skip that, but always happy to show it to you. You can also go to our website and view a lot of videos. But Vistamar, I want to give a little history, give you an overview of our curriculum and what we're doing, and then leave a couple minutes for some questions if anyone has anything. But Vistamar was founded about 10 years ago from a group of South Bay parents who felt there was a need for another high school or independent school option in the South Bay area. Put together a board of directors, purchased a building, and hired our head, CFO, and assistant head to develop curriculum and start the process of developing a new private school in the area. Today, we opened in 2005 with 52 kids. We started this year with 217 students. We are much more of a regional school, and I know when you're looking at when you're working with your clients and so forth in the real estate market, you know, being in an area where there are great public schools, generally, you know, those families, and as a realtor, you're prone to move them towards the public school sector, which is great in this area of the country or state. Vistamar offers another option. It's a private school, which means it's small. We have 217 kids. Our average class size is 12. And it's a very regional school. We don't just pull from the South Bay. We pull students from all over Los Angeles, from Pacific Palisades down to Long Beach. And this is something that the founding board didn't realize would happen so quickly. So, you know, right now of 217 kids, they come to us from 71 different middle schools throughout the LA area, over 50 different zip codes. So our student body is extremely diverse, which is one of the key learning elements of our environment. It's 54% of our students are students of color. 43% of our students do receive some type of need-based financial assistance to attend the school. So if you're talking with parents and they're purchasing an expensive home in the area, it's not to say that they still wouldn't qualify for funding on the private education side. One thing that's unique about the school compared to a lot of the other public and our competing independent schools is the curriculum. Because we're young, we were able to put in place what we felt are the best practices globally. So to kind of give you a quick overview of that, you know, we teach English and history together in 9th grade. So humanities is taught to the 9th and 10th graders. They're studying English, history, art, literature from that area all tied together. Our science program was adopted from Europe and Asia. It's a modular program. So unlike what I went through, and most of you might have gone through with a traditional year of biology, chemistry, physics, we have a modular program. So the students have a trimester of bio, chem, and physics each year up through junior year. After 9th grade, if science is a passion, we do offer over 18 AP courses. So if you have clients that are AP driven, there's plenty of those. No one will run out of those. Our math program, we just added a new math program last year. It's adopted from Phillips Exeter Academy, which is a top boarding school on the East Coast. And it's much more of a problem-based integrated math program. We're very much about collaborative learning, small environment, working together in groups. So our math program is primarily out of a workbook versus a textbook. What we call cemetery-style learning in a math class, where you have rows of kids just listening to a teacher kind of tell you to memorize and follow this like you all remember. Our math classes are set up in circles, and 90% of the time you're going to see a student at the board. And the idea is that we want our students talking, thinking about math, sharing math learnings. So we teach math pretty much like a language. It's not your traditional memorize these formulas to get your answer. It's 3 different ways to get the answer, and then conversation about how and why. Language, we offer 3 languages. Obviously English, we offer Spanish, and we offer Mandarin Chinese. These are the 3 most popular languages in the world, and especially as these children graduate from high school, college, and enter the workforce, having these languages are going to be key for them. It's not about getting an A in our language program, it's all about oral proficiency. So if I was a student, I could have A's all 4 years in my language class. It's still not enough to graduate. I've got to pass the ACTFL, which is what government agencies would give a diplomat who's going to go, work in Mexico for a year. They've got to pass a certain level on this exam to show that they're proficient in the language. All of our seniors have to pass a certain level based on the language they've taken. We also offer Spanish for heritage speakers. A little over 20% of our student body speaks Spanish as a primary language. So the Heritage track is for those students who want more focus and emphasis on reading and writing in Spanish. But about half of those Spanish speakers take Mandarin, so they'll graduate trilingual. We have a very strong athletics program, great arts program. For a small school, we're already entering CIF playoffs for flag football, soccer, basketball, volleyball. We don't have PE during the school day. We require that all of our students either participate in a sport, inside school, outside of school, or at least be active 3 hours a week. So we offer other alternatives such as yoga, fencing, cardio, dance, weight training. If the student does swimming, gymnastics outside of school, we honor that. And then another big part of our program is our life planning approach. Most schools, public and private, we'll start talking to students about college around junior year, trying to get a feel for who they are, what they want to do. We start in 9th grade with more of a health and wellness approach. By 10th grade, it's an experiential part of your learning, where if I'm a student and I want to be a vet, I'm going to go do some type of internship between sophomore and junior year in a field that I think I want to enter when I go to college, or the schools that I'm going to focus on. So what we're doing is we're helping our students thin out the process a little bit. We're not seeing our kids applying to 20 different colleges. They're applying to about 6 to 8 well thought out decisions. So if I'm going to be a doctor for all the reasons that as a 14-year-old thinks I want to be a doctor, and after I intern in an ER, I realize this isn't for me, now we're going a different path. We also expose our students to a wide range of colleges. We've had plenty of Ivy League accepts. We've had 3 graduating classes. So we have our Harvard, our Princeton, our Browns, all of that. We also have a lot of small liberal arts schools that, I personally, most of them have never heard of before, but it's a school that a student finds through this process. One interesting statistic is of 75% of all high school students applying to college apply to the same 250 colleges. And then in our eyes, that leaves well over 3,000 great universities and colleges throughout the country or internationally that a student should consider and look at as a viable option. We also have seminar classes, which it's a non-graded course once a week. It's a grade level class, so the whole grade does meet for the seminar course. It's very unique. It's theory of knowledge, ethics, mind and soul, and visual literacy are the 4 seminar courses we offer. And it's really about, again, collaborative work, critical thinking, and stepping outside your zone within your grade level group. Our facility is 78,000 square feet. We are still expanding. We just completed a $1.6 million expansion this year. This past summer, it was a 2-month project. It's beautiful. It opens up a whole new section of our campus. In about two to 3 weeks, we're going to start construction on a new black box theater, which will actually eventually be open to the public. So once this is complete, there'll be another theater in the area. It's going to be should be complete by January. So our facility is still building out, but we're almost there. In terms of schools' financial stability, we are very financially sound. We have an endowment which is over $6 million already, which is somewhat unheard of for a school that's only 6 years young. We own our building, which is great. And our enrollment and downtime continues to increase. Each year we're increasing, and we're meeting and exceeding our admissions goals. So starting at 52 kids, now we're 217. Next year we should be about 260. Our full capacity will be 380 kids. So we build the school in sections of 16. So when we're full, we hope to have 6 classes of 16 in each grade, so 96 kids in a grade. And that's as large as we will get. It's a process. It's not, when you apply to a private or independent school or Vistamar, there is a process that's involved. It's a lengthy process. It's usually a 3 to 4 month process where there's interviews and tests you've got to take and submitting of this and that. But our goal is to really find the right kids for who we are, and also educate families so that they can make the right decision if this is the school. There's a lot of great schools in the area, and every student's different. And the best thing you can do is, expose your clients and family members to a wide range of schools, and then, kind of see what feels right and go through the process with them. With that said, in my video not happening, if there's any questions, and actually we have a parent here. If you want to say a few words, Dan, and about Vistamar. Dan's son James is a freshman with us this year who transferred down from Ojai Valley, and he's experienced 2 months of Vistamar, so I don't know if there's anything.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Just really quickly, I think Vistamar is about fit, about community, and about excitement. And fit has to do with where does your kid fit in the best. So my son James, that a lot of you know, has a great heart, but he's a tough customer. And he fits in the environment at Vistamar where you can't get lost. As far as community goes, I think he gets that Vistamar is a place, I know he gets that Vistamar is actually part of an extended family that he's got now. And he's meeting a lot of kids that he never would have met before from, I didn't know it was 71 different schools. But when you go to these events and you see him already after 2 months there interacting with all kind of kids and all kind of grades, it's a really cool thing to see. And then it's about excitement because he wants to get there at 7:30 in the morning, which is an hour before school starts. And he's a high school boy. Anyway, if anybody has any questions about Vistamar, Ryan's a great source, but I'd be glad to answer any too.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Chadwick has always been the school where, private school people didn't want to wear post-out. How many of the kids you're getting who would have gone to Chadwick, or is that a completely different type of school?
No, we're friendly competitors with Chadwick now, and we're definitely on their heels or have been. Again, I work closely with Chadwick in their admissions department. Judy and I have been friends for a while, and we refer kids back and forth to different schools. They're very much more of a traditional school. They've 75 years is their anniversary this year. We are starting to win kids over Chadwick. Last year we had 5 kids that were accepted to both schools. 5 kids chose to come to Vistamar over Chadwick. And that's just because it's a different environment, and they felt that for who they are as a person, that would be the school best for them. Not to say we have siblings. We have kids at Vistamar who have siblings at Chadwick, or siblings at Costa, siblings at other schools in the area. Again, it's about finding the right school for who you are. And the comment on community, that's the one thing that I think stands out the best about Vistamar is the community. School opens up about 6:30 in the morning, and when I say it's busy by 7, it's busy, and school doesn't start till 8:30. We close the doors about 9 o'clock at night, and we are literally go home. Kids hang out. It's one of its commuting reasons. We get parents who would rather come and pick their kids up at 6:30 after the traffic dies down, depending on where they live. But it's a school that's open for a long time and busy all day, and it's not just busy with kids goofing off from 3 to 6. It's kids learning, working in small groups, connecting with kids they might not have ever connected with. I think that's one key element of the school is, where my office is, I look out at the lunch tables, and it's great. I'll see 3 kids who live right on the Strand in these beautiful homes, and their best friends live just a half mile away from them in the Hawthorne-Inglewood area, and they live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 8 people, and they've become best friends. They're learning from each other, and that's a big part of our model too as a school is, learning through diversity, and diversity is excellence. When these kids graduate college and enter the real world, they're going to be working in a diverse environment that requires collaborative work, and that's kind of where we are now. And what we're seeing with a lot of our neighboring schools is, wow, they have it, this is right, how do we incorporate this now? It just takes, if you've been around 100 years, it takes a little longer to change curriculum, whereas we're fortunate that because we're younger, it's easier to put in place what we feel is the best practice.
How much?
Tuition, yes. Tuition is $27,700 with a one-time new student fee of $1,300, so say about $28,000. Over the next 2 to 3 years, we anticipate probably a 2 to 3% increase in tuition. Which is, what is it?
It's gone up, right?
It's gone up, yeah. We go up about 2 to 3% each year since we opened. But we do offer, 43% of our students do receive need-based financial aid, which is huge. Most schools have students, about 18% of their student body receives some type of financial aid. We're at 43, and we do allocate 12% of our gross tuition dollars towards financial aid. And then a lot of our endowment right now is totally restricted for financial access to maintain that diversity in the environment.
Does it follow a normal term session?
Yeah, we operate on a trimester schedule, so I think the trimester comes due